Good day. Okay, what we're going to try to do today is make a version of Chef Rick Bayless's Habanero hot sauce. Now, right up front, I'll tell you, I'll try to put a link to his actual recipe in this video, but I make it differently. I add a few ingredients here and there that he doesn't do, and we're making a double batch compared to the recipe that the chef has posted. So here we go. I'm going to go through what we need to do this. We will obviously need some sugar, salt. These are some serrano chilies and some sweet bell peppers that I had in the fridge and were going south like Sherman, so we're going to use them. It's about 7 ounces of stemmed peppers. This is about 5.5 ounces of stemmed habaneros. This is about 10 or 11 cloves of garlic. It seems like a lot of garlic, but this recipe has a lot of garlic. This is 2 pretty good sized carrots peeled. This is a small to medium sized onion peeled and rough chopped. 2 cups of water. 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. And that's pretty much all we need to make this recipe. As an overview, what the recipe involves is roasting the garlic in a pan for a few minutes, and then kind of boiling the other ingredients till they're soft, and putting them in a blender jar and pureeing it to very smooth. I store it in a squeeze bottle, like a ketchup bottle, a squeezy bottle that you buy at the store. So it has to be very smooth. So we'll come back in a minute when we are starting the garlic to roast. So here we are roasting the garlic, and this is obviously pretty simple. It has to sit in this little cast iron for, I don't know, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes, where the outside gets a little black in spots, and it softens up the inside so that when you put it in the blender, it's not raw garlic, because nobody really wants to bite down on a piece of raw garlic. So we'll be back in a few. Okay, while the garlic is roasting, we're going to get some carrots started. Now, the chef indicates that you should combine essentially everything: the carrot, onion, chilies, vinegar, water, salt in a saucepan over medium-low heat, and cook until the carrots are thoroughly tender. I use a little bit different approach here. I'm going to put the carrots here into this saucepan with the water, which is 2 cups, same amount of water as apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to put that on the stove to start cooking down a bit, because my experience in making this is that the carrots take a while to soften up. And I would also note that you partially cover the pan, so I leave it slightly cracked. Hang on, I'll show you that. This is like my version of partially covered. If you see, it's like open slightly on the side. That's all I know about that. We'll be back. As you're roasting the garlic, you can see how a couple of these, let me see if I can zoom in, have developed some black spots on one side. This is exactly what we're looking for. We don't want to burn the garlic. We want to roast it so it gets soft in the middle, and then we're going to let it cool and peel it. Definitely do not peel it before you start this roasting. If you use a pan that is not cast iron, I mean, you should get cast iron, but if you are using a thinner bottomed pan, be careful of the heat. One of the advantages the cast iron gives you is the pan gets hot, and then you can keep it a fairly consistent temperature very easily, because it's because it's much heavier, more mass. Anyway, we're going to continue cooking the garlic and getting it to a point where it's soft, and see the black spots there on some of them. And they won't all cook in the same period of time either, so just pay attention. This is not something you can do from another room. Okay, after the carrots, which are simmering in the vinegar and water, come up to temperature and start cooking, I put in the heavier chilies and peppers. So this is the serranos and the 3 little miniature bell peppers that I'm using. And I'm using them because I had them. I wouldn't have purchased them for it, and I wouldn't have cut up larger ones. I would have just used the serranos, but because they'll take a while to get soft. And then I put the little lid back on for a while, and the habaneros are not in there yet. They're the thin-walled pepper that takes the least time to get soft. And again, this is different than the Super Chef recommends, but it's just my experience. Okay, we're getting near the end on the garlic roasting. I've taken one out and it's pretty soft, but if you think you might have burned some of the garlic, pass on it, don't use it, start over, and get new garlic, because garlic is cheap and burnt garlic is awful. I mean, it's bitter and it'll just spoil the whole thing. So don't take any chances on burnt garlic. Okay, now we have added the onion and habanero peppers to the mix, and we're gonna find something and stir this up a bit. Hang on a second. I have to go over here, get a spoon. Don't get sick from this. Just get a good stir on this. It should be about another 10 minutes. Turn the heat up a little bit so it comes to a boil. And over here, the garlic is finished, and we've peeled it, and it's sitting here peeled and waiting to be put into the blender tray, or blender jar. So we'll be back in a minute. Literally about an hour. So it would really be cool, because blending hot stuff has really not gone well for me in the past. And I'm still putting a big heavy oven mitt over the top of it before I blend it for the first time. So I'm going to try to set up the camera so you can see it blending and whatnot. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try blending it, just pulsing it a little bit. Seems to be working pretty good. So here we go. Okay, that was a while, but this has to be blended really smooth in order to squeeze through the squeezy bottle I have. Oh, the smell is awesome. Okay, now's the time to sort of taste it. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me tilt this up a little bit. And see if, oh shit, that's hot. Oh, okay. Whoa, that's hot. Oh. Okay, so this is really good, but it's really spicy, or picante, or whatever the word is.